Hey, guess who's back? Us. Yes. The two-man team tonight. Me and GI. We're gonna go over week 11. Probably gonna leave one game out because I don't want to talk about it. We're gonna tell you who ate good. We're gonna tell you who busted this week. We're going to give you a couple more heartbreaking losses that happened this week. Give you a couple waiver wire picks. We're gonna go over the Thursday night game, and we're gonna have fun like we always do. But before we could do anything, y'all know what we have to do. We got to hit that intro. So we're going to drop it right about.
You're now about to witness the strength of fantasy football knowledge.
Welcome to the Fantasy Football Avengers Podcast, starring Kyle Shanahan's, Boulevard, GQ, and GI16. And now, here's the boys.
Ew! Welcome back. I think Garfield's getting used to it. He's not jumping up angry like he normally does. So I think he's getting used to this. But we are back. It's me. It's GI. Props to GI for calling Patrick Mahomes 2 picks. One in the beginning of the game and one to seal the game. One of the only joys I had this weekend watching football was watching Patrick Mahomes lose.
So happy about that.
It felt good to hate watch.
I felt vindicated.
It felt good to hate watch. Like, yes, I know I'm hating, but it felt good to hate watch and watch that team finally lose. I would not be surprised if. Now it probably ain't gonna happen this week. I don't think they're gonna lose to Carolina, but I wouldn't be surprised if they start doing a little tumble. You know, kind of like how the Eagles did last year. When they had that one loss and the season just kind of got out of control on them, I wouldn't be surprised to see that happen to the Chiefs this year.
Hey, we don't know what can happen this Sunday.
We don't know what
Carolina ain't worth football no more.
We don't know. Young is starting to look like a brand new QB out there. Thielen's coming back. We don't know. Even though if I were to put money on it, I would definitely put money on the Chiefs. But this NFL season has shown us that anything can happen. Anything can happen. The 49ers can rattle off and win the next. I don't know how many games we got left. 7? They can win their next 7 games and make it into the playoffs. Anything can happen. Anything can happen.
Only God.
But let's get started with Raiders versus Dolphins. Dolphins whipped that ass 34-19. Gardner Minshew had a decent week. 30 for 43, 282 yards, 2 TDs, 1 pick. I don't know.
Actually played good?
No. Zamir had 5 carries for 9 yards.
Then who the hell ran the ball for them?
T-Rash. Let's see. Hold up.
I thought it was Zamir White. I must have been seeing things.
Look, the leading rusher was Jacoby Myers. 1 rush for 20 yards. But yeah, the Raiders' run game is trash. They may mess around and be the ones to pick up Genty. They may be the one. I don't see it on here where there was a Russian touchdown scored.
Hold on,
it says so they had 19 points, so that's 2 TDs. Amir Abdullah scored a reception.
My apologies, fans. My apologies, audience. It was Amir Abdullah. Not Zamir
3
White.
receptions, 16 yards, 1 TD. If anybody needs Genty, it's this team. Not saying the Cowboys don't need him, because Cowboys need him too. But if anybody needs Genty, it's this team. But they're probably going to go quarterback.
Let's correct that. The Cowboys need Jesus.
Yes. Yes. But Brock Bowers, the man that this offense needs to be built around. 13 receptions, 126 yards and a TD. Monster.
See, I mistook Abdullah and Zamir White. Abdullah caught the touchdown pass in the second or third quarter off of a little like a baby, like a dump off, and took it to the house. He was gone. I mean, he was gone. That's all they scored. I think they only scored 2 early touchdowns, and then the rest was field goals the rest of the game.
Yeah. And then we got on the Dolphin side, Tua Tagovailoa, 28 for 36 for 288 yards and 3 TDs.
All I cared about was A-Chain.
Yeah, A-Chain, 73 yards and a TD on the ground, and 4 catches, 32 yards. A-Chain 8. He 8. But Jonnu Smith, woo.
Yeah, Smith went off.
Woo. 6 receptions, 101 yards, and 2 TDs. Jalen Waddle is just about done. It looks like that. Done. It looks like that offense. What you say?
Put a fork in Hill too.
Put a fork in Hill?
Yeah.
Nah. God. Hill had 7 catches for 61 yards and a TD.
I'll take it, but it's trash, man. Like
it's not what we're used to from Tyreek Hill. It's not what
I didn't draft him for no Deebo Samuel's kind of stat line.
I get it. But he gave me 19 points.
I drafted him to give me
this late in the year. Right. This late in the year, though, I'm taking it. Because a lot of the other guys that we drafted if you didn't draft Jamar Chase, then you pretty much missed out. If you didn't draft Jamar Chase, you pretty much missed out at the wide receiver position. Because they're starting to double team Jefferson. Teams that start to double team Jefferson and take Jefferson away from games. So except us, we didn't do it. And Cooper Kupp had a decent game, but Cooper Kupp is injured a lot. But we'll get into those games later. But 19 points from Tyreek Hill, I'll take that.
Dude, I got Hill, I got Jefferson, and both of them. And I got Kelsey. All 3 are killing me right now.
And Mostert, you can pretty much drop him at this point.
Yeah.
It's no reason to keep playing Mostert. He had three carries for -2 yards. Like, I think Father Time is starting to catch up to Mostert. Last season was a highlight for him, and I think that's it.
Agreed.
Browns versus Saints. Another ass whooping. But Winston, 30 for 46, 395 yards and 2 TDs. I will take it.
You know what I'm taking out of that game?
What's
know what I'm taking out of that game?
What's that?
All these bums that are gonna go run into the waiver wire to pick up Taysom Hill this week after they all cut him.
Oh yeah, it's the same script every year. Taysom Hill has that one game. Everybody runs out and gets Taysom Hill, and you don't see it no more for the rest of the season. It's the same script. But Jerry Jeudy,
400 yards and 2 touchdowns.
Who started Jerry Jeudy this week?
Not me. Not ever.
If you started Jerry Jeudy on a happenstance, or you just didn't have anybody else to play, you say, you know what, I gotta throw somebody in here. You're happy. He had 6 catches, 142 yards and a TD. Njoku, 9 catches, 81 yards. Hey, if you started more, Moore gave you something. Moore gave you the devil line. 6 catches for 66 yards and a TD. Too many sixes, my boy.
God.
Tillman really didn't do much for me. Chubb is starting to look like he's coming back into shape.
He just has to get his legs under him.
Yeah, I feel like I want to give him. I feel like by the time the playoffs get here, I feel like Chubb is going to be a startable player. I need to look at their playoff schedule, but I feel like Chubb is going to be a startable player. If you held on to Chubb this long and you got a good team going, hey, salute. Come playoff time, it's going to work for you. Now,
are we considering MVS a viable player now?
2 weeks, and he does it with minimum
Reception.
targets. 2 catches, 87 yards in the TD. He's playing the Shaheed role, which I knew he was going to play because he's fast too. He's big and he's fast.
Your boy Taysom Hill, 7 carries, 138 yards, and 3 touchdowns. That's not including he threw for a touchdown too.
Yeah.
And then he received for a touchdown. At the rate we're going, he did almost everything.
Yes, he did. He actually had 8 catches for 50 yards.
And the TD?
So, yeah, no, he didn't catch the TD, but he was all over the place. What I need him to do is not be all over the place because there's still Alvin Kamara there. Stop vulturing from Alvin Kamara. I don't understand why the Saint. It's like no matter what Saint coach comes in there, we're going to give it to Taysom Hill on the goal line. Why? Alvin Kamara's not a little dude. He's a big dude. He's not a little dude. I don't understand why you don't give it to Kamara on the goal line. Like, why are we robbing this man of his touchdown catches? Touchdown runs. Why are we doing this for Taysom Hill?
Why are you robbing us as a fan base?
Like, I hate vulturing.
All right, next game. I'm just gonna get angry about the vulture.
But Kamara has 67 yards on the ground, 4 catches, 22 yards.
His day would have been bigger.
It would have been big if he would have got just one of those TDs. Just one of those TDs. Just one. We're not asking for a lot, Just get that man a touch on the goal line.
Same thing with Saquon Barkley. We're not asking for a lot.
Yes. Sick of it. Next game, Colts versus Jets. Colts beat the Jets 28-27. Anthony Richardson's first game back looked decent.
Tell me why I had the Colts winning all weekend, right? On Sunday morning, I changed it to the Jets, and this is what they gave me. A 1 point loss. I hate the Jets.
So Anthony Richardson went 20 for 30, with 20 for 30, 272, and a TD. I don't know what's going on with Jonathan Taylor. I don't know what's going on with Jonathan Taylor.
Like 7 points, maybe 6, maybe
24 carries for 57 yards. He's out there looking like how my boy was looking. Najee was looking for Najee was looking in Pittsburgh when Fields was under center. So hopefully we can get this straight soon. Because Anthony Richardson is also vulturing TDs. He took 2 TDs. Took two TDs on the ground. Downs had a nice game. So Downs looks like he's QB proof. No matter who's in there, whether it's Flacco or Richardson, Downs is going to get his. He had 5 catches for 84 yards and a TD. Pierce had 3 catches for 74 yards. Pittman had a pedestrian 5 for 46. But the Colts won. So that was the most important thing for them. I'm upset. I get upset when any fantasy quarterback, running back gets vultured by the quarterback. Like, stop vulturing. Let these guys eat. This is what they get paid for. This is what they get paid for.
I'm amazed Breece Hall went off and still the Jets lost.
Yeah, Breece Hall had let me go back to that game because I ain't even talk about what the Jets stats were. Breece Hall definitely had a game. Definitely had a game. Because I looked away for 1 second. I was like, oh man, Breece Hall about to stink again this week. And I look back up. Oh, he going off.
Because it wasn't Garrett Wilson. He was garbage.
Yeah, Breece Hall had 78 yards on the ground and a TD. And then he came back 7 catches, 43 yards and a TD.
Aaron Rodgers doesn't do shit with receivers, though.
Adams had 6 catches for 72 yards. Garrett Wilson had 4 catches for 18 yards. I've been reading that a lot of people don't think that Aaron Rodgers is going to be back in New York next year.
The owner said he wanted him benched by week 5.
Yeah. You think he's lost it?
Yes.
Okay. For all the time they caught up to him.
The owner said he wanted Aaron Rodgers benched after they went 2-2. They lost 6 straight games after that. So.
Wasn't that when they lost that game against the Broncos, where it was like Aaron Rodgers really didn't do shit?
Yep.
Yeah. I can see that vision. I can see that vision. Next game, Vikings versus the Titans.
Good God.
Vikings 23-13 Titans. Sam Darnold 20 for 32, 246 and 2 TDs.
Nothing from the Vikings. Nothing. Absolutely nothing.
Aaron Jones is not giving you nothing on the ground right now. 15 carries, 39 yards, 2.6 yards per carry. Cam Akers was a 2.5 yards per carry, and Sam Darnold was the one who ran the ball in. Justin Jefferson had 6 catches for 81 yards, not a bad day. But Addison was the one that if you started him, which we probably didn't because he's been trash for the better half of the year, but he had that one long catch, and that definitely inflated his numbers. 3 receptions, 61 yards, and a TD.
That game gave me shit. I don't care what Jefferson's 6 for 81 was. Again, I didn't draft him for some Deebo Samuel's numbers.
Right.
I drafted him to get me 100 on 10 catches and a TD.
So you drafted him for the Amon-Ra numbers.
Man, Amon-Ra got lucky this week. I love Amon-Ra. Come on.
Will Levis
had a
decent game.
We'll get to that
17 for 31, 295, a touchdown and a pick. He even ran for 18 yards. Westbrook Akina was your guy today. Was your guy this Sunday if you started him.
The
98-yard catch and run. Calvin Ridley, pedestrian game, 4 catches for 58 yards.
Well, he saw what's his name all game. I think.
What'd you say?
I think he had what's his name follow him all game. Gilmore.
Yeah, Gilly Lock.
Yeah.
Next game.
Just like Jefferson had Snead on him all game, but Snead got hurt, so
yeah.
Whoever Tennessee
Packers versus the Bears, and the Bears having only the type of ending to the game that the Bears can have against the Packers. Like, I think the football gods do not like the Bears when they play the Packers because how? Did you see the Bears? They're filing. They were filing a report with the league office
for cheating.
Yeah, man, take your L and let the fans complain about the cheating. Y'all take your L and go on about your business because they're not going to change the outcome of the game. They're not going to let you. They're not going to let you go back out there and replay it. You're not going to get that W. Take your L and go on about your business.
I'm gonna keep repeating it. I hate the fact that the NFL allow these referees to fuck these games up. Then they Monday morning quarterback all the fuck ups these referees are. My apologies. We're gonna correct the situation. You're still not gonna get the win, but we're gonna correct the situation. Because come on, even though I don't want to talk about it, those 2 instant replay calls by Shanny should have been fucking, reversed.
Yeah, I don't want to talk about it.
Bullshit.
I don't want to talk about that. Yeah, because I was throwing shit at my TV when because we got hold twice. I was throwing shit at my TV, so I don't even want to talk about it. Packers won 2019. Jordan Love, decent game, 13 for 17, 261, a TD and a pick.
He's on
Josh
the same
Jacobs.
With Stroud. Him and Stroud are pissing me off.
Yeah. If you drafted Jordan Love and you drafted Stroud, this is not what you drafted them for. Josh Jacobs. Yeah. 76 yards on the ground and a TD, and you also had 4 catches for 58 yards. This is what I want to see going into the playoffs. This is what I want to see. This is what I want to see. I want to see Josh Jacobs because he really didn't do much of catching when he was in Oakland that I can remember. It was a lot of up the middle, and he was killing with that. But the fact that you're turning into a pass catching back now with the playoffs 3 games away, this is what I want to see. This is what I want to see from my fantasy teams. Watson, oh my gosh, Watson, welcome back to fantasy football, Christian Watson. Even though nobody started you, 4 catches, 150 yards.
Stop with that welcome back shit. He ain't coming back.
You don't think he's coming back?
He made his guest appearance in the season, and that's it.
He made his cameo, and now he out.
We're gonna go back to our regularly scheduled program. Jaden Reed and Dobbs.
Yeah, Reed had 2 catches for 23 yards, a touchdown. Dobbs only had 1 catch for 17 yards. Kraft had no catches for nothing. Ooh, I know. I didn't jump on the Kraft bandwagon because everybody beat me to it. But I know damn well if I would have started Kraft, I would have been heated.
Listen, I have a team with my 2 tight ends are him and Dallas Goedert.
Mm-hmm.
They both suck ass.
Caleb, nail painter Williams that dresses like him from Powerpuff Girls. He had 23 for 31, 231 yards, no TDs, no picks.
Did you say Caleb or Caleb?
Caleb. I'm not calling him Caleb until he starts playing like he's supposed to. Your name is Caleb. Gotta call you in French. Caleb.
Fuck that. That's Boo Boo Williams. Boo Boo Williams.
Swift. 14 receptions, 71 yards, and a TD, including that one long run.
14 carries.
14 carries, 2 catches for 13 yards. A Doomsday
got me about 10 points.
6 receptions, 65 yards. DJ Moore, 7 catches for 62 yards. Trust and believe. This is not what you expected when you looked at that Bears team in the offseason.
You were Keenan Allen and shit.
Yeah, Keenan Allen, 4 for 41. I honestly feel like that team would do better getting rid of Keenan Allen in the offseason. They would do better. Trading Keenan Allen to somebody who needs a wide receiver and just run with the 2 young boys. So that way it's not a lot of mouths to feed, and Caleb can focus on a Doomsday and DJ Moore because DJ Moore looks checked out. He looks checked out.
Can we get Caleb then? I mean, Keenan Allen? I'll send them. They can have hands of stone.
As much as I would love that, we still got to develop our guys. We still got to develop Pearsall.
Well, we don't need what's his name?
Huh?
I'll do anything to get rid of that kid.
Who? Rugged Ronnie Garvin.
Yeah, you know who I'm talking about.
If you bring in Keenan Allen, you're bringing in Keenan Allen to be one of your top 3 guys.
Shit,
I think with the way he runs routes, he would be welcome. He'd be welcome on his team with the way he run routes.
I'll take. Can we just make? We'll talk about this another day. Me, I'm over it.
I don't know if I even want to get into this game. Jaguars versus the Lions. This was a college ass whooping. Mac Jones is certainly proven that he does not belong as a starter.
Didn't we say that?
Yeah. I mean, we this was probably one of the times we said it was going to be an ass whooping, and it actually turned out to be an ass whooping.
And what got me mad, I didn't start him even though I picked him up, and he went the fuck off.
Who?
The fuck off.
Who you
Brian
talking
Thomas
about?
Jr.
Oh, yeah.
The only bright spot about that game. He went the fuck off.
Because Mac Jones only had 138 yards.
And he was probably all of it.
Yeah, Brian Thomas was like 82 of them. He was 82 of them.
I think he was more than that. He broke 100, I think.
No, he had 5 catches for 82 yards.
Oh, it was? I thought he broke 100.
ETN has regressed. I think we're done with ETN.
I think we're done with Doug Peterson.
Yeah, Doug Peterson. I don't see Doug Peterson surviving this season. If he makes it, if he makes it to week 17, I'll be surprised.
Tell me why. I shared in a group chat earlier today, and all of my friends. Some guy bet $200 on the Sunday, but the majority was this game. He bet $200. He would have won 200 grand had he won. He fell short by half a yard.
Well, for ETN?
No.
Oh.
Jameer Gibbs.
He
needed 69.5 yards and above. He got 69 on the dot.
Yeah,
one more yard.
That was the NFL. The NFL.
Forget about us having a heartbreaking loss. That's the definition of a heartbreaking loss.
Yeah, that the NFL really told them, sit that down. Cause Jameer Gibbs could have got way more. He could have got way more.
Dude,
Jared Goff finally had a game. 412 yards, 4 TDs. Montgomery, 75 yards, 2 TDs. Gibbs, 69 yards and a TD.
He's had games all season. This was the best game he's had.
Yeah.
In lineup games.
St. Brown, we talked about him earlier. 11 receptions, 161 yards, 2 TDs. J-Mo, 4 catches, 124 yards at a TD. Gibbs had 1 reception for 54 yards.
Laporte is the only one that missed out in this whole game.
Yeah.
He was hurt.
Yeah. The Lions are looking like a juggernaut right now. They're looking like a juggernaut right now. We will see, though. We will see. Rams versus Patriots is up next.
Oh, God. The one time I root for the Patriots to do me a favor.
Hey, Matt Stafford, 18 for 27, 295, 4 TDs. Had a good game. Matt Stafford is a startable QB in fantasy football as long as his 2 guys are there. If his 2 guys are there, he's startable.
Even if he's one.
I see. If it's just one, then he's going to focus on that one. He's not going to really spread the ball around like he should.
But that's Stafford.
Yeah, it's Stafford.
His entire career. Detroit, Calvin Johnson was averaging what? 10 receptions a game?
Yeah.
100 yards a game?
He feeds his guy. He's going to feed his guy. If he don't do nothing else, he's going to feed his guy.
And if he loses one starter, that the best believe that tight end is going to be heavily involved.
Kobe Parkinson.
Any tight end, it doesn't matter.
He had a touchdown this week. I had to text Boulevard. Hey, your guy, he did it. He did it after you said you ain't believing him no more. He did it.
And now he's gonna go back to not believing in him. He's probably gonna disappear next week again.
Right. So Kyron Williams, 15 carries, 86 yards. Did Kyron get any touchdown? He didn't get a touchdown.
No, it was all to the receivers.
Yeah. Puka, 7 for 123 in a TD. Cooper Kupp, 6 for 106 and 2 TDs.
And then Parkinson had the 1 TD.
Let's go, Cooper.
Yo, I got Cooper in a bunch of leagues.
Yeah. Let's see.
That was it.
Let's go over to the Patriots because Drake May is continuing to impress me. 29 for 39, 282 yards, 2 TDs in a pick. Stevenson, 73 yards on 20 carries, 3.6 yards per carry. Bourne. Welcome back, Bourne.
Oh, he made a guest appearance.
5 catches, 70 yards in a TD.
He made a guest appearance.
Bourne looked at the Rams defense and said, it's light work. I remember this.
Demario Douglas, who did the real work.
Douglas had 4 catches for 59 yards. Hunter Henry, 6 catches for 63 yards.
Didn't Douglas get a touchdown?
No. Lowe got the other touchdown.
Okay.
So
Listen, the most consistent receiver on that team is Douglas. Period.
it might mess around and be Bourne now.
Nah, it's still gonna be Douglas. Bourne just gonna be, sneaking in there here and there.
Ravens versus Steelers.
Oh, what a barn runner that was.
It really wasn't much fantasy in this game. Henry had 13 carries for 65 yards and a touchdown. You know what we always say, the Ravens lose when they don't feed Derrick Henry. Lamar Jackson went 16 for 33 for 207 yards, 1 TD and a pick. I kind of had a feeling it was going to be like that because Lamar always struggles against that Pittsburgh defense. We need to study. Whenever we play Lamar, we need to study that defense of what Pittsburgh is doing to make him struggle because
it's easy. There is no studying.
They get with him.
Listen, I've been telling people the same thing his whole career. Do what Clemson did in college. Contain, contain, contain. You contain him, you can beat him. You start playing games and trying to reinvent the wheel on defense, he's going to eat you alive.
Yeah.
And the Niners have a defense, especially the wide 9 defense, to contain him.
Yeah, but, you got to be disciplined enough to do it for four quarters.
Dude, that's the problem. Our most disciplined player on defense is Fred Warner. He can't be everywhere.
Yeah. So
but I'll tell you this, though. I'll tell you this.
See, the thing about it is everybody on that defense is trying to make a play. He can't be trying to make a play. You gotta buy into the defensive strategy for that game. You can't just be going out there trying to make a play.
Any running quarterback is gonna fuck around and find out from now on when we have Mustafa out there patrolling. Because that boy's gonna put a licking on somebody and keep it moving.
He gonna have to. Every quarterback got to pay for Mahomes putting him on that poster.
Oh no, Mahomes is gonna get his too next time. Mahomes will get his too.
I think the only player on Pittsburgh's side that was actually pretty decent this game was Pickens. 8 catches for 89 yards.
Is that not every game?
Yeah, that's every game, especially since Russell's been under center. Like
Russell gave you his average game, which I'll take.
Yeah. No TDs though.
It doesn't matter. I'll still take it because that's him consistently. And plus, we're talking about the Ravens and the Steelers. There was not going to be that much receiving. It's all running and defense.
Yeah, it should have been because
earlier that weekend.
It should have been. It should have been some more passing because that Ravens secondary is still bad. It's still bad.
Again,
it's still bad.
That's when you see offensive coordinators trying to reinvent the wheel. I would have you know who I would have used if I was the Steelers? I would have had Calvin Austin abusing them or Pat Fryermuth up the middle. But that's just me.
Seahawks versus 49ers. Do we even want to talk about this?
Or we gonna skip that? No, we can skip that game.
Yeah, we're gonna skip that game. We're gonna skip that game.
There was no honestly, I'll put it, there was no real fantasy relevancy on our side.
Yeah, it was. Jennings.
Yeah, okay. Jennings. I'm talking about outside of Jennings. There was no real fantasy relevancy on our side. Purdy, average game. Jennings had his game of the year again. And then JSN went ham. Yeah. JSN broke 100 on like 6 or 7 catches. He went batshit crazy.
Yeah.
But everybody else on that team,
the running game was kind of shut down on both sides.
Metcalf was average.
Yeah.
He still gave you double-digit points.
Yeah, honestly, I don't think. I think if Nick Bosa finishes that game, Seattle doesn't have any fantasy relevancy. If Nick Bosa finishes
outside of JSN,
yeah, if Nick Bosa finishes that game,
but even if he didn't, that they had that game handily. It's them. They keep blowing it.
Next
I'm over
game,
it already.
Falcons versus the Broncos.
Fuck the Falcons. Fuck the Falcons. Everything. Did you watch the video I sent you?
No, I haven't
Watch the
watched
video I
the.
sent you, and watch what Jeremy did. Was it Jeremy? No, what Brandon did? He put the entire team in fantasy jail.
Brandon.
The video I just sent you. Remember I told
Okay,
you there's a guy who does fantasy bust of the week and all that shit. I sent you his video for this week's bust of the week.
is that the guy who's like who always says like a lot of funny things on the videos?
He plays like 8 different characters all the
Yeah.
time.
Oh, okay. That guy.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. He's funny. I
He
like
put the
him.
entire team.
I do watch his content from time to time.
He put the entire team on nominee because he does a bust of the week. He does all the people he doesn't like in the week, and then he does like honorable mentions. He said the entire Falcons offense honorable mention because they were hot trash.
Yeah, Bijan didn't give me nothing this week. He didn't give me nothing. Thank God.
The whole team ain't give nobody anything.
Thank God for Joseph Burrow. He saved my ass in almost every league I had him in because it was a lot of busts this week. It was a lot of busts.
Thank God for Bo Nix and that damn defense in Denver. Good God.
Yeah, Bo Nix went off 28 for 33, 307, and 4 TDs. You know what I was thinking about with Bo Nix, how Bo Nix plays? I'm imagining this is what Sean Payton wanted from Taysom Hill. How Bo Nix is playing, this is what Sean Payton he saw Taysom Hill in Bo Nix, but better. And he says, this is what I wanted from Taysom Hill. And I'm getting that from Bo Nix. Because Taysom Hill was never that accurate from the pocket. He was never this good from the pocket. Bo Nix can do it all. He can do it all. He's the way he started the season, I was like, meh. But now he's starting to turn up the temperature, and I'm like, okay, I see the vision. This has actually been a pretty good quarterback class. Outside of Caleb, you had Jaden Daniels has been doing good, Drake May has been doing good, and now Bo Nix is doing good. Pretty good class. And I feel like if Cousins keep messing up, Penix is going to get in there, and Penix is going to put in some pain.
Let me tell you right now, I like Buffalo, and even though I hate saying this, I like KC's chances in the playoffs. But I'm gonna tell you right now, you don't want Denver in the first round or second round. You don't want that.
Nah, not but they play tough. They play tough.
If that offense can give that defense any semblance of points, that boy Pat Surtain and his defense will put the smash on you.
I think
they lost Justin Simmons. They lost Justin Simmons, and they still smash.
I think the only team really right now that would, it's like maybe two teams that would probably give them the most fits, give Denver the most fits outside of KC. I think they would keep it close with Buffalo
and Baltimore.
I think Baltimore would beat them. Baltimore already
beat them.
Yeah, Baltimore whipped that ass. So I think Baltimore would definitely beat them.
Time around, it would be different.
I think the Chargers would be a problem too. I think
the second time around for Denver would be a different story. Because
I don't think it's going to be an ass whooping. I don't think it's going to be but I still think Baltimore's going to win. Like Lamar Jackson is the ultimate X factor. I think if Lamar Jackson plays a Lamar Jackson game, then he can beat Denver.
See, look, they lost to the Steelers 13-6.
Yeah, the AFC is going to be a wild shootout come playoff time.
They shouldn't have lost to Seattle.
They should have lost to Seattle.
They beat the Jets 10-9.
But at the same time, Bo Nix was still getting his NFL feet. I think if they played today, if they played this Sunday, Denver played Seattle this Sunday, I think Denver would beat them.
They lost to the Chargers 23-16. Another bomb burner.
Yeah, I think the Chargers. I think the Chargers can get with Denver.
They spanked everybody else up until the Ravens game where they lost 41-10.
Yeah,
that's not going to happen the second time around. And then they barely lost to the Chiefs 16-14.
Yeah, they barely lost the Chiefs because of a block punt, a block field goal.
They're about to go on a 4-game streak because they got the Raiders next. They already smashed them once.
Mm-hmm.
They got the Browns next. After that, they're gonna smash the Browns. Then they got the Colts after that. They're gonna smash Anthony Richardson. I'm sorry.
I just want to thank Bo Nix for bringing Sutton back to fantasy relevancy, helping to bring Sutton back to fantasy relevancy. Like Sutton is a weekly startable player now.
We're on week 12 coming up now, right?
Yeah.
All right, so 12, 13, 14. So week 14, they got the Colts. Week 15, they got the Chargers. That's playoffs. Week 16, they got the Bengals. Playoffs again. Week 17.
Bengals? They got the Bengals?
Oh, I'm lying. Hold on. This is week 13 we're going into.
Okay.
Because they haven't got their bye yet. Yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 games left. And they're 6-5.
Yeah.
Did they get their bye already?
So what's the last 4 games? What's their last 4 games?
Their last 4 games are 1, 2, 3, 4. Damn, sorry. 1, 2, 3, 4. Colts, Chargers, Bengals, Chiefs.
Okay, so Colts, Chargers, Bengals. The Bengals game is going to be the championship game. Why? Why does Joe Burrow have to play that defense in the freaking championship game?
So if you make it to the Super Bowl in your league, you're screwed. Because that's week 17. 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. Yep, 17.
I'm hoping that Joe Burrow comes out like a house on fire. And I hope that T. Higgins is not hurt. And I hope that T. Higgins and Jamar Chase are healthy for that game. Because if they're not healthy, I may have to sit Burrow. I don't want Burrow going out there without his 2 top guys against that defense. But the next game, Kansas City versus the Bills. The game in which GI called the finish. Mahomes throwing another pick. Mahomes is throwing a lot of picks this year, bro. A lot of picks this year.
I called it. That's why I called it. I knew that would be Buffalo's redeeming game for against the Chiefs.
Not a lot of fantasy relevancy going on here. I mean, Worthy had 4 catches, 61 yards, and a TD.
Your boy belongs in jail. I told you that.
Hopkins did nothing. Kelsey 2 for 8. Same number as P. Ryan. Both of them had 2 for 8. 2 for 8. But I really didn't expect a lot in this game because 2 good defenses. I expected a lot of guys to have pedestrian numbers. This is what I expected. Josh Allen, 27 for 40, 262 yards, a TD, and a pick. But he also had 12 carries on the ground, 55 yards, and a TD. Cook really didn't do nothing outside of those 2 TDs. 9 carries for 20 yards, and he had five catches for 7 yards. How does that happen? Shakur, 8 catches for 70 yards. Hey, we tell you every week, play Shakur. He's gonna get the targets, he's gonna get the catches. Play him. Samuel had 5 catches, 58 yards, and a TD. Not a bad day. Cooper, I don't know what's going on. Maybe it's still the wrist injury. 2 catches for 55 yards. I'm expecting more from Cooper in this offense with that quarterback. I'm expecting more. And I will not be starting Cooper on any of my rosters that I drafted him in until I see more. Now we're going to talk about the game. We're going to talk about the game. The game that won me all my leagues this week. Well, all the leagues I had Joe Burrow in. I'm really upset. I am really, really, really upset that 5 or 10 minutes before the game, like I was tired. I was tired Sunday night. And that 49er game just took all the energy out of me after that. So I'm relaxing, and then it just hit me. Higgins is starting. So in my dynasty league, I'm trying to get Tank Dell out of my lineup so I can put Higgins in my dynasty league. And I couldn't do it fast enough. And Higgins went the hell off. The hell off. My boy Higgins had 9 catches, 148 yards in a TD. He's letting y'all know, hey, I'm going to be a free agent this offseason. I'm worth wide receiver 1 money. Chase, 7 catches, 75 yards, and 2 TDs.
See, I'll take
Chase
that.
Brown.
I'll take that.
Brown on the ground.
If
Chase Brown on the ground.
If Jefferson and Tyreek Hill gave me what you just said Jamar Chase had, I wouldn't complain.
Jamar Chase was the pick at wide receiver this year. We hesitated because of the off-field things that happened in training camp where he was like, well, I want to get paid. I'm not playing unless I get paid. So a lot of people hesitated to pick up Jamar Chase. But if you did not hesitate to pick up Jamar Chase, you're being rewarded. You're being rewarded because he's losing his damn mind out there. And so is Chase Brown. Chase Brown, 86 yards on the ground. 86 yards on the ground. Then comes back 5 catches for 57 yards.
Zach Moss, I like you. You're a good guy. Just get the fuck out of town.
Get out the way. Get out the way.
Move out the way.
You're taking up space, my boy. And there's probably a bunch of teams that could use your services, but we don't need you out here no more, my boy. Let Chase Brown have that. Let him have that. Joe Burrow.
You could be his backup.
My guy, Joe Burrow. My favorite fantasy quarterback now. I think every year I'm going for Joe Burrow. Every year.
This kicker screwed him this week.
Okay, I don't care.
No, they should have won that game.
They definitely should have won that game. But
that kicker killed them. Macaulay Culkin took him down the field 3 times in the 4th quarter.
You know who Joe Burrow's starting to remind me of? What this season? What he reminds me of?
Who?
Remember how Drew Brees was when the Saints defense was trash, and he used to score you a lot of fantasy points because he was in a shootout every week. That's Joe Burrow right now.
Now you remember
that is Joe Burrow.
Phillip Rivers.
Yeah, that is Joe Burrow right now. Going to score you a lot of fantasy points because he's always going to be in a shootout because the defense is trash.
If he's standing upright, he will give you a 40 burger every week.
28 for 50, 356 yards and 3 TDs. That's how you play quarterback at the fantasy football position. From now on, that's how you play quarterback at the fantasy football position. Herbert tried to, stay in there with him. 17 for 36, 297 yards and 2 TDs. Not a bad day, Herbert. Not a bad day. And you ran for 65 yards on the ground.
Dude, he must have woke up. I don't know. I've never seen Herbert do that before.
Yeah.
Herbert was off. I'm gone. Let's go.
Look, J.K. Dobbins, 56 yards on the ground, 2 TDs.
Your boy Tony sent me 2 offers today. He sent me Devontae Smith, Dobbins, and some other receiver for Breece Hall. Then he sent me Dobbins.
Why does he always do that?
Jerry Jeudy and another receiver for Brees Hall.
Why does he always do that? Why does he always try to give you a 3-for-1? And I'm like, dude, I'm gonna have to drop 2 guys. I'm not dropping 2 of my guys.
And I'm not giving up my keeper.
For your bums. For
No.
one decent player and 2 players that had a decent week.
Now that I've changed the rules and we're going down to 1 keeper next year, will he be my keeper? Possibly not. But do I still give him up for chump change, especially now that I'm in the playoffs? Hell no.
McConkey, this is what I drafted you for.
Yes.
6 catches, 123 yards. This is what we drafted you for.
He had
and
that rough
Will Dissly.
Jesus.
Will Dissly. I told people to pick you up a couple weeks ago. I was ahead of that curve. I say, hey, you know what? Will Dissly's getting a lot of targets. Y'all may want to pick Will Dissly up. 4 catches, 80 yards in the TD.
Dude, let's get back to McConkey real quick. He had a Wes Welker 4th quarter.
Yeah,
a Wes Welker, Julian Edelman 4th quarter. Because every time you turned around, McConkey, first down. McConkey, first down. McConkey, first down.
But this is what I expected from him. This is what I'm expecting from Ricky Pearsall. This is what I'm expecting. This is what I'm expecting. You know, like I'm expecting to see that every game. I'm expecting to see that every game from Lat McConkey. Now, do we really got to talk about the Monday night game, Texans versus the Cowboys?
Yes, because that brought me more joy than anything.
That was an ass whooping. And the Cowboys actually had the game in hand. They actually not in hand, but they had it kind of close.
Said, how this Stone Cold Steve Austin say it? Joe Mixon said.
Yeah. CJ Stroud,
relevant person in the whole team for the Texans.
CJ Stroud, 257, no TDs and a pick. I think this is what his season is going to look like.
Fuck CJ Stroud.
I think this is what his season is going to look like. He may get a couple good games in there, here and there, but I think the Texans are turning into a running first team. Which is, if Joe Mixon is playing like he played on Monday night, why not? Just give him the rock. Outside of Joe Mixon, it's really nothing to call home about. Nico Collins and Tank Dell had the same amount of catches and yards. 4 for 54. On the Cowboys side, Cooper Rush actually had a decent fantasy football game. 32 for 55 for 354 yards, a TD, and a pick. Rico Dowdle,
trash.
No, you're going to enjoy your starting time, my boy, because you're going on the bench next year.
He's trash.
CeeDee Lamb had 8 catches for 93 yards. Kevontae Turpin. I hate Siri sometimes because I don't know how what I said to make Siri come on. Whatever. Kevontae Turpin, 3 catches, 86 yards in a TD.
Shut up, Siri.
Right. You hear her?
Yeah.
Nobody want to hear you talk. Schoonmaker, 6 catches for 56 yards.
Stop it. Okay. Stop it with like easy smiley.
After Jake Ferguson went out after catching a, what do you call it, knee to the head or something like that?
I don't know. I was pissed off. I just looked at my stats. Why is Jake Ferguson giving me anything? Oh, out with a concussion.
Yeah,
I'm truly beginning to hate the tight end position in fantasy.
Yeah, unless you got Kittle, Brock Bowers, or McBride. It's whatever at that position.
So
get what you could take.
Quick PSA: Week 14, which is the final week of the before the playoffs, right?
Mm-hmm.
The Ravens, the Broncos, the Texans, the Colts, the Patriots, and the Commanders are all on bye.
Woo! So that means if you got Lamar Jackson, you are done, son. Hey, Jason, if you're watching this, you're probably going to make the playoffs. You're probably just going to be starting Anthony Richardson. I tried to trade you Patrick Mahomes. You didn't want it. So, yeah, good luck. I hate it. I hate buys this late in the season because it's almost like they don't care about fantasy football, and they should because, fantasy football brings a lot of money and a lot of eyes on the NFL.
By the way, Justin Tucker killed the Baltimore Ravens this week with those missed field goals.
Yeah, Justin Tucker decided he wanted to cosplay as Jake Moody this week. A lot of kickers decided they wanted to cosplay as Jake Moody this week. But it is what it is. We're going to talk about the best players of the week because we're going to tell you who ate.
Who's eating good?
Bam! Jared Goff. 412 yards, 4 TDs, no picks for once. After throwing 5 last week, he comes back with 4 TDs. So, hey, Jared Goff, do your thing.
Mm-hmm.
My boy, famous Jameis, 395 yards and 2 TDs. If you started him, which I wanted to start him, but I'm like, I think I'm gonna play Matt Stafford. I should have started. I should have started Winston, but I still won. I don't care.
I cut him.
Tua Tagovailoa. Welcome back to Fantasy Football Relevancy, the Isle of Relevancy for the Tribal Chief.
Look at his jersey.
Yeah, 288 yards, 3 TDs, and a fumble. We don't care about the fumbles.
I love Sleeper. Sleeper gives you the greatest pictures.
Have you read the comments that be on these people's pictures? Yeah, it's a lot of AO in them comments.
Forget that. The whole Sleeper website, when people when you get posts like, oh, the Jets GM got fired, and you see the people's comments.
Have you been on Sleeper long enough to see the Marlon Mack jokes?
I think I have, but I don't remember the Marlon Mack jokes.
You remember when Marlon Mack was a thing on Sleeper? All they kept talking about, how does this affect Marlon Mack? What does this do for? No matter what the story was, it was always people jumping on there talking about, how does this affect Marlon Mack? They love Marlon Mack is a Sleeper legend. But let's talk about these running backs now. Mr. Joe Mixon, 153 yards, 3 TDs. They're good this week, my boy.
Yes.
Against one of the worst run defenses in the league. That's what you're supposed to do against the Cowboys. You're supposed to gash them with runs all day.
Crash their asses.
Saquon Barkley, of course you're going to be here. You were like the only one in that game that had some fantasy relevancy. Breece Hall.
Good God, 7 for 7.
We love it when Breece Hall does his thing over here.
I'm not happy he's on bye this week. It just hurts me.
Yeah, it does. It does. I'm not happy that my boy is on bye this week, Joe Burrow. I'm not happy about that. I had to go out and pick up Bo Nix.
I'm losing Hall and Chase Brown this week in different leagues. And Bijan. And Bijan.
Oh, it hurts.
Oh, the atrocities.
I'm on Ross Brown.
Boy. That's a bad man right there.
About time right there. You showed us what it is with you. About time.
It was 161 yards, damn it.
Cooper Kupp.
I'm used to it.
Yeah.
His teammate better be the next receiver.
Yeah. But Jerry Judy.
I would have
Jerry
took.
Judy.
Did Puka get less yards than him?
I think it's because of the long catch that pushed that boosted up. You know, when you got leagues where there's bonuses for catches, which there should be in every league. There should be bonuses for 40, 50-yard catches. And bonuses, another bonus on top of that if they score a TD. It should be.
We'll be talking about that for our league next year. That will be
I'll be playing in leagues and dudes be catching 40-yard TDs and get no bonus points for it. And I'm like, how is this a thing? Like, what are y'all doing?
I do everything by voting process. So if the league wants it, the league gets it. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I'm at to talk to this one league that I'm in. I'm in a league with a bunch of foreigners. I'm at to talk to them about this.
Oh, je m'appelle?
Don't ask me why. Don't ask me why I'm in a league with a bunch of foreigners. The less I say, the better. When I don't want to start an international incident.
People from India, the Middle East, Asia.
This vulture. Number one tight end on the week.
Remove that QB moniker from his thing. He's not a damn quarterback.
He's not. I don't know what to call him, but a damn vulture. Outside of a vulture, I don't know what to call him.
Just like the cop show, Brooklyn Nine-Nine.
Yeah,
a vulture.
Jonnu Smith.
Good God.
6 catches, 8 yards. 6 for 8, 101 yards, 2 TDs, 1 long TD catch and run. I had to play against Jonnu Smith in a league this week. Matter of fact, our 49ers league, I had to play against Jonnu Smith. And when I seen him catch that pass, I got worried. But then I had to remember who I was playing. I was playing this guy. Brock Bowers. The second best Brock in the league. 13 for 16, 123 yards in a TD.
I wish we had him on our team. The Brock to Brock connection would have been awesome.
I definitely. Oh my God! What could teams do with Brock Bowers and Kittle? What could you do with that?
Nothing.
Like, dude, our running game would be so crazy with.
Let me tell you right now.
Brock Bowers on it.
If the Raiders are offering Michael Mayer and Harrison Bryant up for trade next year, the 49ers better get them anything for it, because those two kids learning under fucking George Kittle would be phenomenal.
Yeah, we definitely need some fresh blood at the wide receiver position. But let me bring it back. But since we talked about who ate, y'all know what we got to talk about next. We got to talk about who busted on your team.
Bust of the week.
Where do we start?
Yeah, we start in the great state of misery.
Yeah.
And then Travis Kelce's bum ass with a 1.3 fantasy fucking week. 2
catches for 8 yards. How do you get 2 catches? You get a point for a catch. How do you get 2 catches and have less than 2 points? The fantasy outside of Brock Bowers, Taysom Hill, who we really shouldn't just be saying he's a tight end,
and Jonnu
Smith, like, tight ends this week were rather bad. Rather bad.
It was rather bad. The entire fucking position was hot garbage.
Yeah. Brock Bowers and George Kittle are holding that whole shit up on their shoulders right now. If Kittle would have played this week, Kittle would have went off. But
No comment. But he is playing this week though against the Packers
yes,
because it's now lose.
we
It's now dire straits for us.
We need all hands on deck.
Can we please just create the quarterback wing of the bum jail? Because Aaron Rodgers,
CJ Stroud,
Jordan Love,
Aaron Rodgers' protege,
and Patrick Mahomes belong in that fucking wing. They are atrocious. They are garbage. They are hideous. They just straight boo boo.
Yeah, because these are the guys that you drafted.
Wait. I'm sorry.
I don't want to trash on Young. I don't want to trash on him because nobody drafted him to be that guy. You drafted CJ Stroud to be that guy. You drafted Jordan Love to be that guy.
I forgot one guy. The guy who's making my tight end look even worse than he usually is. Kirk Cousins.
Yeah.
What the fuck?
Yeah, Kirk Cousins is terrible.
What the absolute fuck?
Kirk Cousins was terrible. Drake London was meh.
Man, he was. That whole team was non-existent. 6 points.
Bijan, Kyle Pitts, hell, even my boy Mooney. Like nobody did good this week. I mean, granted, yes, you were playing against a good defense. You were playing against a good defense, but still, somebody had to have some numbers, bro.
Garrett Wilson,
and then you're going on a bye. Then you're going on a bye, and so we don't get production out of you for 2 straight weeks. For 2 straight weeks, we don't get production.
Possibly 3, because we don't know what they're gonna do after the bye.
What game are they? Who are they playing after the bye?
Who?
The Falcons.
Hold on, I'll tell you right now.
Hopefully it's somebody dripping in bum juice.
No, there we go. That's
they playing the Chargers.
Yep, they're not gonna do shit.
They're not gonna do shit.
That defense has been legit.
Yeah,
and they're rookies. Dude, talk about rookie leading. You seen their rookie corners?
One thing Jim Harbaugh is going to do, he's going to build an offensive line and he's going to put a defense on the field. If he ain't going to do nothing else.
Well, mind you, they're doing all that without their number 1 pick.
Yeah.
Joe Alt is out for the season.
Yeah.
I feel bad for people next year if they got Rashawn Slater and Joe Alt healthy all year. Where are you getting sacks at? Because your DNs better be Myles Garrett fast and Nick Bosa fast, because them boys is gonna be blocking.
It would be nice to have an offensive line like that again. But that's neither here nor there.
You know who's gonna start this week possibly, right? Feliciano. Because Aaron Banks has been straight boo-boo.
I don't want to talk about it.
But listen, I said it before the week started, and I wasn't wrong. This was going to be a bad week for fantasy, and it was. There was a lot of busts.
Yeah, thank God for Joe Burrow for saving my week.
I mean, there was so many busts this week. It was Minnesota, Atlanta, the Jets.
Minnesota's been busting the last 2 weeks.
Who else?
Because they were supposed to do to the Jaguars what the Lions did to the Jaguars, and they.
Thank you. You just said it for me. The Jaguars, straight boo boo.
The Jaguars is boo boo every week, though.
The Cowboys were boo boo.
They're boo boo every week.
Bears and Packers were straight boo boo. Come on, Seahawks and Niners game.
I need the Packers to play terrible for 1 more week.
Well, the Seahawks and Niners game was straight ass.
Yeah. Yeah.
That was his worst game all season.
outside of Jennings, we really didn't. It wasn't really much offense.
Outside of Jennings and JSN, that was all the offense on both sides.
Yeah.
And Brock Purdy had his worst game of the year.
Yeah.
He didn't even break 200 yards passing.
Mike McDonald actually put together a good defensive strategy against Purdy in the 49ers this week.
No, it wasn't that. It wasn't that. You want to know what it really was? I was watching highlights earlier that somebody put up. The Niners were not holding their blocks. It was Dan Orlovsky on ESPN. The Niners didn't hold their blocks for shit. They were garbage.
And not just that, but the penalties. When we're moving the ball, we're getting in the red zone and we're taking penalties.
But I'll take this. If there's any solace for me this week, outside of watching the Cowboys and the Chiefs lose, is that my boy is back at quarterback in New York. Tommy DeVito and Mama Luke.
Yeah, the guy that cost the Giants Jaden Daniels.
Your man's not happy that he got overlooked. Drew Lock is not happy.
Well, of course he's not happy, but you got to play better.
But you know what it is? I think the Giants think that they're gonna tank with this kid.
And he's gonna cost them Shador.
He's gonna cost them a million pick.
He's gonna cost them Shador.
I'm gonna love it. It's gonna end up the Panthers, Jacksonville Jaguars, and the Cowboys with the top 3 picks, and the Giants will be sitting there at 4 again.
If he costs them another quarterback, I am going to laugh. I am going to laugh really, really hard because my Giants homeboy, fan homeboy, kept talking shit about Kyle Shanahan this week, and Nick Bosa called them both overrated. If Mama Luke gets in there and costs them Shador and Cam Ward, I'm gonna laugh. I'm gonna laugh so hard.
Let me tell you this right now. No Giants fan should be ever talking about the Niners being overrated. Dude, get a winning season, please.
That's why, like, I don't entertain people whose teams are trash. My team is sitting at 500,
and
it's still 7 games left to go. We're 1 game behind first place in our division. It's still 7 games left to go. Anything can happen over these next 7 games. I've seen this story before. I've seen this team sitting at 3-5 and go on a winning streak. I've seen this. And it's not like we don't have the players on the field. We do have the players on the field. We have the players in the locker room. We have the players on the field. They just need to wake up and remember who they are.
The Giants are going back to the top 5 pick.
No, I don't think so. I think Mr. is going to put him in the top 10.
Now he'll get him
top 10.
He'll get him just outside the top 3 in the top 5.
No,
he'll get a 4th or 5th pick.
He's going to get him somewhere in between the 7 and the 10, where they're going to be out of the range for a quarterback.
Nah, I think he's going to get him in between 5 and 7, and they'll end up with Dylan Gabriel.
Or maybe they'll actually do the right thing, and instead of drafting a quarterback, draft some offensive linemen. Because what good is drafting Shador if your offensive lineman can't hold up for him? I mean, granted, this is what Shador does because his offensive line don't hold up for him in college. So granted, he would come in. All right, I know how to work behind this, but still, I wouldn't want that.
And still the most accurate quarterback in all of college?
I still wouldn't want that.
Do you believe that shit? That kid has no offensive line, and he's still the most accurate quarterback in all of college.
Yeah, that's why I believe that he'll be really good going into the NFL.
Yo,
I believe so.
They're going to cause some problems in that playoff if they make it.
I need to see them. Have they played any SEC teams this year?
No, I don't think so.
Yeah, so I need to see them play an SEC team.
It doesn't matter. SEC is not what it is. Once Texas lost, that's the SEC lost all credibility this year.
They're trying to figure out a way to get Georgia in. That's funny.
Georgia has 2 losses.
Yeah, that's funny. They're trying to figure out a way to get Georgia.
Alabama has 2 losses too, right?
If they can find a way to get either one of those teams or both of those teams into the playoffs, I'm gonna look at that as it's a farce.
What's it looking like right now? Do they have a whole thing yet?
You know what? I didn't even look because college football for me stopped weeks ago.
No comment for you.
Yeah, it stopped weeks ago. But that was our bus of the week. Because I don't want to talk about college football now. Let's go into a couple heartbreaking losses.
Heartbreaking loss.
That's not what I want.
Real quick, while you're getting that ready. Notre Dame plays Army this week, 9-1 versus 9-0. And Ohio State, 9-1, plays undefeated Indiana. How Ohio State with 1 loss is ahead of Indiana, who's undefeated?
Yeah. I don't want to talk about college politics. Because college politics is how we got screwed out of the playoff last year.
Alabama has 2 losses. They play Oklahoma this week. Ooh.
This was in our league. Jason just beat Kennard by a point and some change. Yeah. And I think it came down to the Monday night game. That is disgusting. That is disgusting. Like the thing about these kind of losses is I don't like these losses. I'd rather get blown out than lose like this. I would rather get blown out than lose like this. This is another one that I saw.
No SEC games.
This is another one that I saw.
Child support collector versus Say My Name.
Yeah.
Say my name. Say my name. Destiny's Child reference and oh, that's funny. Good God, he lost by tenths of a point.
Tenth of a point.
No, there's a couple tenths of a point. What?
That's gotta be to lose in this manner. You get to looking at your skill position players, and then you start saying to yourself, which one of y'all could have got me an extra a catch, yard?
He lost by a point, 0.60, it looks like.
Yeah, so he lost by
1.6. He lost by 1.6 points.
If he would have got a catch in 10 yards, not even 10 yards, not even 10 yards.
A catch in 7 yards.
Yes. You win. You win. Oh man. That was I get sick every time I see stuff like that. Because I remember the times it happened to me.
My biggest loss of the week was watching that dude's bet slip. That's tragic. That's tragic.
Yeah.
Losing $200,000 by half a yard.
I see that a lot. I see that a lot too. I definitely see that a lot. But yeah, that was your heartbreaking losses of the week. Let's get to these waiver wire picks. We know it's barren.
Every schmuck in America is rushing back into their pool after they cut Taysom Hill to re-pick him up again.
We'll see.
Give me what I want.
Waiver wire pickups.
All right, so let's get on the waiver wire picks. Let's see,
dude. Both my 9
every week we try to identify. We try to identify some players for you guys. Now, I know all year long I was harping on Jalen Tolbert, but now that Dak Prescott is not in the game anymore, Turpin is the guy you want to be looking at. Because outside of CeeDee Lamb, like Turpin and Schoonmaker, because we don't know if Ferguson is going to go this week, but Schoonmaker is only rostered in 5% of the leagues.
What's
Keep
the other
an
tight
eye
end?
out. What'd you say?
What was the other tight end they got too?
Ferguson.
No. They have a third one.
Oh, okay.
He was getting points too towards the end of the game. What is his
Now,
name?
Kavonte
Span
Turpin.
Ford. There you go. Span Ford.
Kavonte Turpin is only 2% rostered in Yahoo leagues. You definitely should be looking for Turpin, especially if your league has kick return yards. If your league, give you points for kick return yards, you definitely want to look for Turpin because my boy Cooper Rush, he is looking for Turpin. He is definitely looking for Turpin.
Because they work on the practice squad together on the bench team together.
Yeah. So Tolbert, not it until Dak comes back. Tolbert's not it, and by the time Dak comes back, they'll probably have another wide receiver too at that point.
That'll be next season.
I don't think Tolbert's did it. I don't think Tolbert's done enough to secure his to secure the number 2 spot. They're gonna draft somebody and he's gonna have to work in OT.
Can I tell you this though? Brandon Cooks is coming back. So Turpin this week, yes. Next week, I don't know.
I don't know why Adam Thielen is only 24% owned in Yahoo leagues. I don't know why. We all know what Thielen does. We all know what Thielen can do. Deeper leagues, you definitely need some Adam Thielen on your team. So I don't know why y'all playing with Adam Thielen only being 24% rostered, but y'all need to go out there and pick up Adam Thielen. Because I
agree with you.
Trey Benson, 26% owned. Why y'all playing? Trey Benson needs to be especially if you're a Connor owner, you need Trey Benson. Trey Benson just started getting some run over the last couple of weeks, and he's a tackle break machine. He's averaging 6.2 yards per carry over the last couple of weeks, getting some run.
Cam Akers.
We all know that Connor doesn't finish seasons. He's not going to play the full 17 games or 16 because, we only play 16 in fantasy football now. He's not going to play the full 16. It's going to be somewhere along the line where he's going to get hurt because I don't like Cam Akers.
Well, he's gonna get picked up by people.
I don't like Cam Akers. He had 2.4 yards per carry last week. I don't think Cam Akers
he's
has
getting the passing role for them.
He is hitting the passing role, but I don't think I love Cam Akers when he first came out. He first came out and he was playing. He looked like he was going to be something. He looked like he was going to be something in that Sean McVay offense. But it's like ever since what did he do? He tore his Achilles. And then he tried to come back the same season.
And he did.
And he's just not been that good since. Like he was looking like he was going to be a monster. And then he came back and he's just been struggling. I mean, teams are still picking him up. Teams are still paying him. They're still playing him, but he's not the same guy that he was.
Oh,
and it's sad because I thought he was going to be one of them ones.
Tommy DeVito.
Tommy, when he played last year, he had eyes for Wandell. He had eyes for Wandell. Wandell might become playable again.
And Neighbors. It's gonna be a good week. Listen, that's gonna be a great game. Tampa Bay versus the Giants. That's gonna be and Michael Evans is back.
Yeah.
Woo! It'll be a good week in that game. That's gonna be a bomb burner right there. Ain't gonna be no defense.
Yeah. I don't know. Tampa Bay plays a little bit of defense. They play a little
Not
bit.
this week. Not this week. Not this week.
All right. So that was your waiver wire pickups of the week. You know, these are players that are still on your waiver wire, and I don't understand or know how. So let's get into this Thursday night game.
Pittsburgh versus
The
is it Pittsburgh?
Browns. Yep, Pittsburgh versus the Browns.
Good God.
And I'm hearing that the weather is supposed to be
Rain.
yeah.
Oh, I'm taking Pittsburgh.
Yeah. I'm definitely taking Pittsburgh. But
that means Chubb's gonna have a long day.
I'm not counting out Winston this week.
No. But I'm counting out the winning game.
Oh yeah, the Browns, the Steelers are definitely going to win the game, but I'm not counting out Winston this week. I'm not counting out Russell. I'm not counting out Pickens.
You know what? This is what's gonna happen this weekend. Watch. This is gonna be a big Njoku Frymouth game.
Frymouth is due.
Both quarterbacks are gonna rely on their tight ends due to their running games being putrid. Their big time receivers are gonna get some love, Tillman and Pickens. But in the end, they're gonna be relying on the people that are not NFL players, they're kickers. And Chris Boswell will outlast the other kicker. Cade York, I think, is the kicker now for the Cleveland Browns. And Pittsburgh will win on the foot of Chris Boswell. That is
I can see that.
That is my what was it? What do we call the thing on Saturdays we do? That's my call your shot for that game. A heavy dose of tight ends, but your kickers will be the difference makers in that game.
I don't know which receiver is going to prop up Winston this week, but I would like to see Winston do what he did last week. Even though it's probably going to be a lot of it's probably going to be in garbage time, which I'm fine with. I'm fine with them. I'm fine with Winston scoring points on the second string defense. I'm fine with that.
I'm gonna keep it a buck with you. I don't think it's gonna be garbage time for him either. I think him and Russell have average games. They'll have like 200 yards, 2 and change passing, a touchdown each. But it's all gonna, because if it's raining, actually when the game is on, that's gonna be straight defense, kickers, and your players.
I don't need that. I don't need that.
We don't need it as fantasy people, but realistically, we're football fans, so we know when it's raining and it's those kind of teams playing each other, we know what's going to be the recipe. Tight ends, usually is your running backs, but those defenses are good at stopping the run. So it's to me tight ends and kickers, and you might get.
I don't know. Browns defense really ain't been like that this year.
Yeah, but they're not giving up huge running games either.
I don't think they're gonna do it. I don't think Najee he may get something this week. I don't. Depends on how healthy he is. But
I think Jalen Warren will be the main back this week.
You think it's gonna be Jalen Warren?
I think it's Jalen Warren. Since they've been back from bye, it's been him. Najee's still getting points.
Not because Najee's been hurt. He's been hurt. So
he's been playing hurt though.
Yeah, it's a man.
He's been Warren.
Man playing with the injury because he's a man. He playing for that next contract. He want to show some team, probably a team in Santa Clara, that he's a 49er fan, right?
He's interviewing for the Cowboys next season.
Nah, he's a 49ers fan, right?
That's fine, but come on, that's
like
he's the perfect running back for the Cowboys.
He wanted us to draft him so bad. I'm like, dude, we're not going to be in position to draft you. We're not going to be in position to draft you.
If he doesn't listen, if he himself doesn't come to the Niners for to demand an interview for next year to play as a backup running back, he's going to Dallas.
Yeah, I don't think we would take him because we already got enough mouths to feed in that running back.
You know what I mean? That's the only way I can see him, the Niners doing anything with him. He's really going to Dallas because Dallas, he's the perfect running back for Dallas. They do stupid shit like that. They need a running back in the draft, and then they go get Ezekiel Elliott. You're going to need a running back next year in the draft. You're going to go and get Najee Harris.
You know who was the perfect running back for Dallas? Derrick Henry. And they said no. So I see Dallas
next year.
I see Dallas drafting. I see them drafting a running back, but I don't see them drafting a running back that we think they're gonna draft. Jerry Jones is probably gonna draft somebody in the 5th or 6th round that's gonna be undersized and slow. And then we're like, what the hell happened to Jeanty?
Can you imagine a running back room next year in Dallas of Najee Harris, Ricky Dowdle, Ezekiel Elliott, Dalvin Cook, and Deuce Vaughn, and then Cook gets cooked during the preseason? Like, come on. That's the shit Dallas does. That's the reason why their fan base will never see a championship. Bullshit ass team.
I don't know what they thought they was getting out of Zeke Elliott. And I don't understand why Zeke doesn't understand he's washed, but it is what it is. But that was your Thursday night preview. Start your studs. Whoever, if you got them, it don't matter. Start them, but put them in your flex spot. You don't want to start. You don't unless it's a stud, unless it's Jamar Chase or Derrick Henry. Those people you start. Those are people that you
start. The only fantasy relevant people in that game are going to be Chubb at any point, Pickens, Njoku, and can I say Freiermuth as a stretch?
You said Pickens, right?
Yeah, I said Pickens, definitely.
Okay.
And Freiermuth is a stretch, and Jalen Warren a stretch.
I want to say Tillman because of his targets. He gets a lot of targets.
He will probably, but it's going to be a rain game, so.
Rain don't mean nothing to Winston. Winston going to sling that bitch. Yeah. Rain, hail, sleet, snow. He like the post office. He going to sling that bitch. You going to eat a dub.
He's going to eat his dub.
Eat a dub. But that's our show for tonight. We are out of here. We'll see you guys again on the Saturday show. Yeah.
As I'm doing the jig to Notre Dame beating Army.
Yeah, we'll see you guys on Saturday. Peace and love.
Thank you for watching the Fantasy Football Adventures podcast. Please like, comment, and subscribe. And don't forget to follow us on social media. Links in the description.